excitement and buzz around the game, especially from people who have been following Ragnarok 2's iterations over the years, from Gate of the World to the release in South Korea, and then following all the hype with our release. I remember there being a lot of worry for the beta and launch, and if our setup was going to handle the amount of users that came on, which is always a worry. We ended up putting a lot of work into that, which helped us out, because in the end there was a lot more users that came on and played Ragnarok 2 in beta and launch than we anticipated. It was fantastic. There's a lot. Our launch was great. We had a lot of interest from players. We had a lot of new players coming in, seeing people create guilds and explore the world that we had been playing around with, but just not with a lot of players before that. Coming out with War of Imperium, we had a lot of interest and a lot of bugs to deal with, but our community was fantastic at getting us information, and they were really enthusiastic about War of Imperium and everything to do with that. Another time we had a community outcry to change the assassin's shadow form from the evil goat man thing to something a little bit more shadowy. We took fan art from our forums and presented it to Gravity, and they actually developed it into the game, which is what you see now as a shadow form. Also, we had a hand in crafting most of our holiday events and presenting it to Gravity and having them develop it into the game. Most players probably aren't aware of that. It was interesting to see which parts they loved, which they didn't, and applying that feedback to future events. For example, those terrifying Yule Festival costumes and the very awesome Viking costumes were ideas that I presented. The concept art from the Yule Festival costumes will still haunt my dreams. We're still developing these, and now with Control the rest of the game, something to look forward to in the future. I remember War of Imperium being one of the biggest areas we wanted to work on, considering its history with Ragnarok Online, and we knew our players loved PvP. It's also one of the biggest updates that we had just coming out of our launch in 2013, so we wanted to put a lot of effort towards it. War of Imperium has gone through a series of changes since its initial version, and we're still continuing to work on it. And it's still a big draw for many of our guilds who love the idea of organizing their guild members to take the castle or fortresses. We also try and find ways to respond to community feedback about the game, or interactions with our players. Now that we have development control, we're able to respond more directly to those feedback and ideas we get from players, and it's also changed the way we organize for the better.
My best friend
From friends?
I heard it from friends.
she was really excited about Ragnarok Online 2 coming out, and she told me the week it came out, and we both logged on and played.
Me and my friends have been playing the first Ragnarok Online since about high school, and we were totally obsessed with it. So hearing about there being a second one being worked on and coming out soon, we were so ecstatic. The moment it came out, we all just jumped on it and started playing.
Ragnarok Online was my childhood. I was really a big fan of the game and anime. I even got a porn stuff that I keep on my head when I was young. I was looking around for a nice MMO to play to start my gaming career, and I stumbled upon Ragnarok Online 2. I got so excited because a big part of my childhood just came back.
I first heard about Ragnarok 2 around a couple of weeks before it was officially released from my brothers. They were the ones to introduce me to the world of MMORPG in the first place. Ragnarok was my first ever MMORPG game, so you can imagine my excitement when Ragnarok 2 was announced to be released.
The mobs,
The monsters, classes.
Cute costumes.
The borings.
The monsters.
At first I didn't have any expectations because I hadn't played the original one, I'd just watched other people play it.
I think basically just how the world of RO1 would translate into RO2, because we knew it'd be like in a 3D format, which hadn't been done before. So we're really excited to see like the way the graphics were, the way the monsters were, even just how like they were gonna go with the story and everything. I was just super excited about that.
Everything from the maps to dungeons, and also their cute costumes. When I just started, my friends helped me a lot in leveling and gearing up my character.
But once I looked into like the different classes, I was excited about the Beastmaster class and seeing the transformation.
I really wanted to see how the game works. The mechanics, the quest, the mobs, the dungeons, the PvP system, the WoE.
I was really excited about the differences between Ragnarok Online 1 and Ragnarok Online 2. RO1 is 2D, only one good angle to see the whole map. Unlike RO2, it's 3D. It's like seeing what the place would look like when you turn around 360 degrees.
Call me childish, But I was seriously excited about seeing pouring in 3D than anything else. I mean, like, forget classes or whatnot, I'm like, pouring now.
And also just seeing the pourings, because that was the only thing I remembered about the first Ragnarok, was that there were adorable pourings, and I wanted to see them more 3D. Most MMOs, the most enjoyable part of it is playing with other people.
I love the costumes in RO2, the graphic and easy movement control. I also love the fact that there's a storyline in this game where each classes have their own journey.
Fighting like old monsters that you know and love, meeting new people, making a guild.
What I love the most is that I get to meet a lot of people in game who are from different countries and backgrounds, and we became real life friends.
When I finally joined the game, my most enjoyable memory would have to be the dungeon runs. I mean, like, after level 50, you max out on your level, you max out on your job level. All you are focused on is your costume, your equipments, your runes, blast intelligence and all that. Especially Baphomet, Arena, Cover the Abyss, and AOD.
I really enjoyed the time in picking class and choosing names. Ha! I spent more than an hour before logging inside the game.
That I like the most in Ragnarok Online 2 is the Warp Imperium. I started off as a PvE player, but then a friend of mine invited me to a WoW active guild. At first, I was hesitant to join because I rarely do PvPs, but then after a series of WoWs attended, I got hooked. It's like you have to work together as a team to achieve a certain goal. That is to get a fort and defend it from other guilds.
I enjoyed exploring the world more than anything else. Pet hunting.
That would be meeting great friends and guildmates, having fun with them in player versus enemies map as well as player versus player maps. To my friends, even if we may be from enemy guilds, and to those who are my current guildmates, I really cherish you all and the memories we made throughout these years.
I was mulling around Pantera waiting for some friends to come online, and I ran into it looked like a group of a guild who were just kind of chilling in Pantera, and they had about 4 or 5 Beastmasters that all changed into the bear form, and they all just started dancing in a line. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It made me chuckle.
One of my fondest memories would have to be when I completed episode 1 and 2 of the Kara window. Consequently, while completing the Karas, I was able to get 99 pets on my own. I'm especially proud of all the 4-star pets that I collected, especially Aramis.
Passing the master level quest. Yes, I know it's hard, especially if it's like your first time to take the quest, because you have to gear up. Not totally gear up, but like prepare yourself in accomplishing the quest.
The master level was introduced. I had fun mostly with PvP based gameplays. PvE still hold a place in my heart, but now I'm having fun shedding blood on the battlefield.
Leading a raid in WoW, it's like a dream come true. And then
When I really started leveling, that was all I was doing, I would get trapped in places for days, just leveling by killing one monster because I wanted that pet and I wasn't willing to wait and come back later. So I believe there was a 9-tailed fox creature, I sat there. It was difficult for me to kill initially, and by the time I left and gave up because I didn't get it, it had been like gray for me for quite a while. And I was just like, I can't spend another day here. But it was fun. Like, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Collecting pets in general. More pets and more costumes.
That would be new maps, new levels, new monsters, and more PvP. And less farming.
Niflheim is coming.
I'm pretty excited for Niflheim. One of my favorite areas in RO1, so I'll be super excited to see how that comes out and how it translates into RO2.
New maps, because every single map here in Ragnarok Online 2 is nice. I really like exploring new places here.
For the future, I'm looking forward to new classes, new pets, new costumes, class balances, more dungeons, more bosses to kill.
New items, especially costumes. I really like collecting costumes, and I think it's never enough.
Well, anything is good as long as you are together, guildmates and friends.
At the end of the day, I feel like that's the most valuable to me. New friends.
We've had control of Ragnarok 2 for just over 2 months now, and we're planning larger changes to the game as a whole. We want to change the game to give it that exciting feel players had at level 50, so we're looking into better ways to address leveling concerns, zone difficulty, our Capper Shop items, as well as looking into the future with new holiday events, new zone updates such as Niflheim, and other ways we can grow and expand Ragnarok 2. We also want to pick up on the storyline that might have been left unfinished and bring more content in that players of the original game, Ragnarok Online, might have experienced.
Happy anniversary, Ragnarok Online 2.